So in this video, we will solve Mathematics Paper 2 Variant 2 for October-November 2020. So let's start with question number 1. Part A is the cash price of a car is $13,000. Marta pays in installments for this car. She pays a deposit of 15% of the cash price, and she then pays 24 monthly installments of $500. Calculate the total amount Marta pays for the car. So let's first calculate the deposit that she pays. So the deposit is 15% of the cash price. 15% of $13,000. So this is 15 over 100 into 13,000. So this is 1950. And then she pays 24 monthly installments of $500. So let's calculate the total amount paid in installments. So each installment is $500 and she pays 24 installments. So 500 multiplied by 24, 12,000. So total amount paid will be the deposit 1950 plus 12,000. So this is $13,950 is the total amount Marta pays for the car. Part B is the price of the phone is reduced by 12% in sale. The sale price of the phone is $286. Calculate the price of the phone before the sale. So let the price before sale equals to X dollars. And if the price was X dollars and it was reduced by 12%, so there's a 12% discount during the sale. So the discount will be 12% of X. So which is 12 by 100 multiplied by X, which is 0.12X. Now we know that the sale price is $286. So the price before the sale was X, and then you subtract the discount minus 0.12x, and you get the sale price, which is 286. Now you can solve this equation in x. This will be 0.88x equals to 286, and x will be 286 divided by 0.88. So 286 divided by 0.88, $325. So the price before the sale was $325. Part C is the exchange rate between dollar and pound is given, and the exchange rate between euro and pound is also given. Calculate the exchange rate between dollars and euros. Give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. So you're given the exchange rate between dollar and euro and pound. So pound is common between both the exchange rates. So let's write this down as, first you have dollar ratio pound. So you have $1 as 0.71 pound. So $1 is 0.71 pound. But since we have pound common in both of them, so let's calculate what 1 pound is equal to in dollars, and then what 1 pound is equal to in euros, and then we can equate the dollars and euros. So let me show you what I mean here. So if $1 is 0.71 pound, so if I divide by 0.71 here, 1 divided by 0.71, I will get 1 pound is 1.41 dollars. So now I know 1 pound is $1.41, and similarly I need to calculate 1 pound is how much euros. So again, pound ratio euros. So you're given 1 euro is 0.87 pound, 0.87 pound. So 0.87 pound is 1 euro. So calculate 1 euro, sorry, 1 pound is how many euros? 1 divided by 0.87. So 1 divided by 0.87, this will give you 1.15. So I'm keeping it up till 2 decimal places since the final answer is also required in 2 decimal places here. So now you have 1 pound is $1.41 and 1 pound is how much? 1.15 euro. So now if I write dollar ratio uh, pound ratio euros. So so I have the common is the pound. So 1 pound is how much? $1.41. And 1 pound is how much? 1.15 euro. So $1.41 equals 1 pound. And oops, sorry, 1.15. So 1 pound equals $1.41 and 1 pound also equals 1.15 euros. So that means these two values should be equal as well, as they both are equal to 1 pound. So I get a ratio of dollars and euros from this. So dollars ratio euros will be 1.41 dollar equals 1.15 euros. So $1 will equal 1.15 divided by 1.41. So 1.15 divided by 1.41. So up till 2 decimal places, this will be 0.82. So $1 equals 0.82 euro. So basically, you use the common currency between the two conversion rates given, which is pounds. So you calculated 1 pound is $1.41 and 1 pound is also 1.15 euro. So if 1.15 euro equals 1 pound and $1.41 equals 1 pound, that means $1.41 will give you 1.15 euros here. And from this, you can easily calculate $1 equals 0.82 euros. So I'm basically using the unitary method here when I divide. So for example, here I have 0.87 pounds equal 1 euros. So 1 pound will equal 1 divided by 0.87, which is 1.15. So that's how you will solve this. Part D is Samuel invests $1,500 in an account paying 1.9% per year compound interest. Nina invests $1,500 and the interest is 1.9% per year, but this is simple interest. They each leave their money in their account for 5 years. At the end of 5 years, how much more money does Samuel have in his account than Nina has in hers? So let's calculate first for Samuel. Amount after 5 years. So Samuel invested $1,500 and the account is paying interest at 1.9% per year compound. So you know that the formula for the to calculate the amount after you apply the compound interest is the principal multiplied by 1 plus rate over 100 to the power n, where n is number of years. So your principal amount is this 1500. 1 plus rate is 1.9%, 1.9 divided by 100, and the time is 5 years, so power 5. So 1.9 divided by 100 plus 1, and this to the power 5, and then multiplied by 1500. So this is 1648 up till 2 decimal place 0 2. So this is the amount that Samuel will have after 5 years, and now we need to calculate the same for Nina as well. So amount after 5 years. So for simple interest, you know that the formula is PRT, PRT over 100. So this is only the interest that she will earn using this formula. But we also have to add the initial amount that she invested, which is the principal. So which is principal P. So P, which is the initial investment, plus the interest she gained over 5 years will be the total amount in our account after 5 years. So if I take P common here, I will get P into 1 plus rate into time over 100. So let's substitute the values. Principal is 1500. 1 plus rate is 1.9 into time is 5 years, and then divide by 100. So 1.9 multiplied by 5 and then divide by 100 plus 1 and then multiplied by 1500. So this is 1642.50. So the amount in Nina's account will be this. And then you have to calculate how much more money does Samuel have. So the difference basically. How much more money will Samuel have? The amount of money in Samuel's account, 1648.02, minus the amount of money in Nina's account, 1642.50. So 1648.02 minus 1642.50. So this is 5.52. So 5.52 is the difference between the money in Samuel's account and Nina's account, or the money. So Samuel will have $5.52 more in his account compared to Nina's account. Question number 2, part A is a group of 80 students each completed a task. The table shows the time, T minutes each student took to complete the task. So 10 students took between 20 to 40 minutes, 20 students took between 40 to 60, and so on. On the grid, draw the cumulative frequency diagram to represent this information. So I have the frequency. I can create another row for cumulative frequency. So this will be 10 here. Then cumulative frequency is basically the sum of all the frequencies up till that point. So 20 plus 10, 30. 30 plus 34 will be 64. 64 plus 12 will be 76. And plus 4, 80. Now I can draw the cumulative frequency diagram. On x-axis I have minutes and y-axis I have cumulative frequency. So since I am given class intervals here instead of exact values of minutes, I will take the mid values. So uh, let me actually create another row here for the mid values of these classes. So this is 40 and 20, mid value is 30. 40 plus 20, 60. 60 divided by 2, 30. 40 and 60 mid value will be 50. 60 and 80 mid value will be 70. Mid value here will be 90. And mid value here will be 110. So now let's draw the cumulative frequency diagram. So the first value is 30 minutes, which is the mid value. So this is minutes, and this is the cumulative frequency. So 30 and 10. So 30 and 10 will be this. 50 and 30. 50 and 30 will be this point. 70 and 64. So 70, 62, 64. So each small block is 2. 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, 70. So this is 70 and 64. Then you have 90 and 76. 90, 72, 46. And then 110 and 80. So 110 and 80 will be this. So let's try to join them through a smooth curve. So this will be our cumulative frequency diagram. The next part is use your diagram to estimate the median. So median will be value at 50th percentile. So 50th percentile of 80, because your total frequency or the total number of students is 80. So 50% of 80 will be 40. So basically I have to look at the value when the cumulative frequency value is 50. So let me draw a straight line here. and read the value in minutes. So this is 50, 52, 54, 56. So this is 56 minutes. So your median value is 56. The next part is find the interquartile range. So to find the interquartile range, you need to calculate the upper quartile first, and then you also need to find the lower quartile. So upper quartile will be the value at the 75th percentile. So 75th percentile 0.75 into 80 is 60. So now you have to read the value when cumulative frequency is 60. So 60 is this. Again, I'll draw a straight line up till my curve here, and the value here is 62, 64, 66, 68. So my upper quartile is 68, and then lower quartile will be the value at the 25th percentile. So 25th percentile of 80.25 multiplied by 80 is 20. So let's read the value at 20 here. So I'll draw a straight line again and see where it intersects the curve, and then read the value on the x-axis. So this is 40 and 42. So your lower quartile is 42. So your interquartile range, I'll just abbreviate it as IQR, 68 minus 42. So 68 minus 42 is 26. So your interquartile range is 26 minutes. Part B is a group of 160 adults each completed the same task. The table shows the number of errors made by each of these adults. So 24 adults made 0 errors, 30 adults made 1 error, 50 adults made 2 errors, and so on. Calculate the mean. So your mean will be simply sigma fx over sigma f. So you'll basically multiply each frequency with its value or number of errors and then add them all together. So 24 multiplied by 0 plus 30 multiplied by 1 plus 50 multiplied by 2 plus 32 into 3 plus 16 into 4 plus 8 into 5 divided by sigma f. Sigma f you don't need to calculate because you know that the sum of all frequencies is 160 because there are total of 160 adults. So 160. So let's calculate the numerator here. 24 into 0 is 0. 30 times 1 is 30 plus 50 into 2 plus 32 into 3 plus 16 into 4 plus 8 into 5. So this is 330 divided by 160. So let's calculate this. 330 divided by 160. So up till 2 decimal places or up to 3 significant figures, the value is 2.06. 2.06 is your mean. Part 2 is one of the adults is selected at random. Find the probability that this adult made more than 3 errors. So probability that adult made more than 3 errors. So how many total adults are there? You're choosing from 160 adults. So your total adults are 160. So your denominator is 160. And then in the numerator, the number will be the number of adults that made more than 3 errors. So how many adults made more than 3 errors? Those would be the adults who made 4 errors and 5 errors because 4 and 5 is greater than 3. So these adults made more than 3 errors. So 16 made 4 errors. So 16 plus 8. So out of 160, 16 plus 8 is 24. So 24 over 160 will be the probability that if you choose an adult they made more than 3 errors. If you want, you can simplify the answer as well, or I think in the marking scheme, it's also given as 24 by 160, so I'll leave it as it is. Part 3 is two adults are selected at random. Find the probability that they each made exactly one error. So that means probability adult or both adults made one error. Both adults made one error each. So you pick the first adult with one error, and then you pick the next one. They also made that's also an adult with one error. So and means multiply, so that means probability adult with one error multiplied by again probability that adult, you choose an adult with one error. Adult with one error. So when you're choosing the first person, let me actually go down here now. So when you're choosing the first person, first adult, what is the probability that you choose someone who made one error? So out of 160, how many made one error? 30. So that means when you're picking the first person, the probability will be 30 over 160 because 30 adults made one error and the total number of adults from which you are choosing is 160. And now you're picking the second adult. So how many adults are left? 159 because you already chosen one. And then you're choosing again someone who made one error. So that means there were 30 adults initially, but since you picked one that made one error, how many adults are left who made one error? 29. So you multiply these, I'll cancel these 0 out. So 29 multiplied by 3 is 87 divided by 16 into 159. 16 into 159. 2544. And 4 plus 4, 8 plus 5, 13 to 16. Let's see if you can simplify this further. If I write this as a fraction and if my calculator simplifies it. Yes, it does. 29 over 848. So 448 to 10, 15 and 8, 7, 50. Yeah, so the both are divisible by 3. So 87 divided by 3 is 29 and 2544 divided by 3 is 848. So you cancelled by 3 in the numerator as well as the denominator. So your final answer is 29 over 848. Question number 3 is part A is complete the table for this equation. So the missing value is when x equals to 7. So let's substitute x equals to 7 here. 7 over 4 plus 2 over 7. So I can simply calculate from my calculator. 7 divided by 4 plus 2 divided by 7. 2.035, and I can write it up till 3 significant figures. So this will be 2.04. And the next part is on the grid, draw the graph of y equals to x over 4 plus 2 over x for this range. So basically you have to plot the table given above. So let's do that. So x value is 0.5, y value is 4.13. So each small block here represents a value of 1 in the x-axis as well as the y-axis because the scale is the same. 10 blocks, 10 small blocks make up 1 on x-axis as well as y-axis. So each small block here is 0.1. So 0.5 will be this and 4.13. So 4.1 is this, so it's very close to this. Then you have 1 and 2.25. 1, 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.25 will be in the middle here. 1.5 and 1.71. 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. So 1.71 will be right about here. 2 and 1.5. So 2 and 1.5. 3 and 1.42. 3, 1.4, 1.42 will be right here. 4 and 1.5. So 4 and 1.5 will be here. 5 and 1.65. 5, 1.5, 1.6, 1.65 will be in the middle. 6 and 1.83. 6 and 1.83. 1.83. 1.83 will be here. And 7 and 2.04. 7 and 2.04 will be right around 2.0, which is this. So these are the points, and let's plot a smooth curve through these. So this is how your plot will look like. Part C is by drawing the tangent, estimate the gradient of this when x equals to 1. So that means you have to now draw a line, a straight line that touches the graph at x equals to 1, and then calculate the gradient of that straight line. So let me use my ruler here, and I will adjust it such that it just touches. Mm, yeah, I think that looks about right. Now I can basically draw a straight line that will touch this curve at x equals to 1 here. So let me try to do that. So now I can take any 2 points on this curve and find the gradient. So actually let's take any 2 points here. So this is on x-axis, this is almost 2.5. So let me take this point here, which is 2.5 on x-axis and 0 on y-axis. And let me take this point as well when x is 1. So, or let's take this one. When x is 0.5 here, so this point here is 0.5 and y value is almost 3. So this is 3. So let me write down these points. 2.5 and 0. 2.5 and 0. And then you have 0.5 and 3. So now let me move this out of the way. Let's calculate the gradient. M will be y2 minus y1. So let's take this as y2 and x2. So y2 minus y1, 3 minus 0 over x2 minus x1, 0.5 minus 2.5. So this is 3 in the numerator and minus 2 in the denominator, minus 2.5 plus 0.5. So this will be minus 3 over 2. So minus 3 divided by 2 minus 1.5. So your gradient is minus 1.5 when x equals to 1. Part D, 1 is on the grid. Draw the graph of 2y plus x equals to 6. So we are given the equation of a line here. So let's take a couple of values of x. Let's take x equals to 0. So if x is 0, this will be 0. I will get 2y equals to 6 and y will be 3. So then y will be 3. And let's take x equals to 6. Or in fact, let me see if, yeah, my axis goes up till 6. So x equals to 6 means uh, 2y plus 6 equals to 6. So 6 minus 6 will be 0. So y will be 0. So when x is 6, y is 0. So I have 2 points now, 0, 3 and 6, 0. So 0, 3 will be this point here and 6, 0 will be this point here. And I can join them through a straight line to get my plot. So this is my graph for 2y plus x equals to 6. So 2y plus x equals to 6. Part 2 is write down the x coordinates of the points of intersection of this straight line and the curve. So you have already drawn the two graphs. We have to find the x coordinates. So the first point of intersection is this one right here. So if I draw a straight line from this to the x-axis, so this is 3.1, 3.2. So this is almost 3.2. And the other one is this one between the blue curve and the green line. So let's draw a straight line down to x-axis. So this is 0.9. Yep. So let's write down the values. So x is 0.9 and what was the other one? 3.2. So these are the two coordinates, x coordinates of the points of intersection. Part 3 is these x coordinates are the solution of the equation this. So in the previous part, you calculated the intersection of the graphs of these two curves. So that means these two are solutions of these two equations if you solve them simultaneously, right? Because that's the two graphs that you used to find these intersection points. So, but this part also says that these are solutions of this equation as well. So that means these are solutions of these two and this. That means if you solve them simultaneously, you will get this equation. Hence, you're given that use these two equations to find the value of a and b. So that means if you solve them simultaneously and eliminate the variable y, because you see only x is remaining here. So if you eliminate the variable y by solving these two simultaneously, you will get an equation of this form. So we can use these two that are given here, solve them simultaneously and get this form, and then we can compare the two equations to find the values of a and b. So I am given here y is equals to this, so I can use the substitution method here and substitute y into this equation here. So 2y will become 2 into, I'll substitute the value of y, x over 4 plus 2 over x, and then this plus x equals to 6. Now I have to get this equation down to this form so I can easily compare them to find the values of a and b. So let's do that. Let's take the LCM here. So LCM will be 4x. So this 4 was multiplied by x. This x will be multiplied by x. I will get x squared. This x was multiplied by 4. So this 2 will be multiplied by 4 as well. So I will get 8 plus x equals to 6. And then I can cancel this 2 with this 4. So 2 2s are 4. So I will get x squared plus 8 over 2x plus x equals to 6. Now let's take the LCM here again. Go down a little bit. So if I take the LCM, which is 2x, so this will be written as it is. However, the denominator is for this was multiplied by 2x, so this x will be multiplied by 2x as well. So this will become plus 2x squared equals to 6. I'll take this 2x to the other side. It will be multiplied. X square plus 8 plus 2x square equals to 12x. And then if I bring this 12x to this side, this will become x square plus this 2x, and this will become minus 12x, and plus 8 equals to 0. So this will become x square. 2x minus 12x will be I think I made a mistake here. So this was x square. So 2x square plus x square will be 3x square. So let me actually redo this. So basically I took it to the other side, 12x, and this was written as it is, x square plus 8 plus 2x square. So 2x square plus x square, 3x square. This 12x comes here, minus 12x plus 8 equals to 0. So now let's compare this with the equation given here. So I have 3x square, 3x square. The coefficient of x is a here. What is the coefficient of x? Minus 12. So your value of a is minus 12. Your constant value with no x variable is b. So your constant value here is 8. So your value of b is 8. So yeah, that's how you will get this answer. Question number 4, part A is the diagram shows a solid formed by joining a cylinder to a hemisphere. The diameter of cylinder is 9, height is 16. Part 1 is the volume of hemisphere is equal to the volume of the cylinder. Show that the radius of hemisphere is 7.86 centimeter, correct to 2 decimal places. So the radius of hemisphere will be this value. Let's call this R. So this is R, or this is also R, which is the radius for this hemisphere. So volume of hemisphere is equal to the volume of cylinder. So let's calculate each of them and then we can equate them. So volume of hemisphere, you're given that volume of sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So 4 by 3 pi r cube divided by 2 will be the volume of hemisphere. So this will be 2 by 3 pi r cube. So volume of hemisphere is 2 by 3 pi r cube, and r is unknown, so I'll leave it as it is. And then we have to calculate the volume of cylinder, and the formula for that is pi r square. Let's call this radius capital R, pi r square h. So now what's the radius of the cylinder? Your diameter is 9. So your radius r will be half 9 divided by 2, which is 4.5. So pi into 4.5 square into the height of the cylinder is 16. So this will be 16. So 4.5 square multiplied by 16. 324 pi centimeter cube. So now you're given that both of these volumes are equal. So 2 by 3 pi r cube will equal 324 pi. And now we can solve this equation to calculate the value of r. So pi and pi will cancel out. R cube will equal 324 multiplied by 3 divided by 2. I take this 3 into the numerator on the other side, 2 into the denominator. So r cube is 324 multiplied by 3 divided by 2, 486. And your value of r will be cube root of 486. So let's take the cube root of this, 7.8622, 7.8622 centimeter, and up to 2 decimal places this will be 7.86 centimeter. So you have shown that the radius is 7.86. The next part is calculate the total surface area of the solid. So total surface area will be area of cylinder plus area of hemisphere. So we'll calculate these separately and then add them together to get the total surface area of the solid. So first let's look at the area of the cylinder. So if I go back up, let me erase this. So area of cylinder is this whole curved surface area plus this top side, which is a circle, and we will ignore the bottom side since that is not part of the external surface area of this overall solid. Only the top side and the curved surface area are the part of the solid. So curved surface area is 2 pi r h, and the area of a circle on the top will be pi r square. So let's calculate that. This will be 2 pi, since I'm calling the radius of cylinder capital R, 2 pi r h is the curved surface area plus pi r square is the surface area of the top circle. So this will be 2 pi into 4.5 into height is 16 plus pi into 4.5 square. So 2 multiplied by pi into 4.5 into 16. 452.389. 452.389 plus pi into 4.5 square. 63.617. And 452.389 plus 63.617. 516.006 centimeter square. And now let's calculate the area of the hemisphere. So if we go back up, your given area of sphere is 4 pi r square. So area of hemisphere will be divided by 2, which is 2 pi r square. So this will give you this like curved surface area of the hemisphere. But you also have to calculate the area of this portion, which is like a ring. So how do you calculate this area? You will take the area of this larger circle like this, which has the radius 7.86, which is the radius of this hemisphere. And then you will subtract the area of this inner circle, which has the radius of the cylinder, which is 4.5. This will give you this area of this ring that is part of the solid. So your total area of the hemisphere will be this area, which is 2 pi r square, plus this area on the top, which is like a ring. So area of hemisphere will be 2 pi r square plus, so 2 pi r square is this part. Now to calculate this ring here, I will subtract the area of the two circles, bigger circle minus the area of the smaller circle. So the bigger circle has radius 7.86 and the inner circle has radius 4.5. So let me actually, okay, let's write it down. Pi into r square, the outer circle has radius 7.86. So 7.86 square minus the area of the inner circle, again pi r square, inner circle has radius 4.5 square. So this will give you the area of the hemisphere. So this is 7.86 as well, which is the radius of hemisphere. So 2 pi into 7.86 square plus pi into 7.86 square minus pi into 4.5 square. So let's calculate this. 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by 7.86 squared plus pi multiplied by 7.86 square minus pi multiplied by 4.5 square. So this is 518.642. 518.642 centimeter square. So now the total surface area total area will be the sum of the two. 516.006 plus 518.642. Let's add them. 516.006 plus 518.642. 1034.648. 1034.648. So you can write it up till one decimal place, which is 1034.6, or if you want to uh, give the answer in three significant figures. So 1, 2, 3. The next value is 4. So this will be, uh, sorry, three significant figures is this. So yeah, so this value will be rounded down to uh, 0, and this will remain as 3 as it is because this value is less than 5. So up till three significant figures, your answer will be 1030 centimeter square. So 1030 centimeter square is an acceptable answer. The marking scheme also accepts the answer 1034.6 centimeter square, which is up till one decimal place. So both of them are correct. Part B is a different solid is in the shape of a cuboid. The cuboid measures 8 by 4 by 6. These measurements are given correct to the nearest centimeter. Calculate the lower bound of the volume of the cuboid. So first we need to find the error value or the error amount in these measurements. So error will be, since it is correct to the nearest centimeter, I will divide it by 2. 1 divided by 2 is 0.5 centimeter is the error in each of these values. Now to find the lower bound of the volume, so volume is what? Length multiplied by breadth multiplied by height for the volume of cuboid. To calculate the lower bound of the volume, I need the minimum value or the lower bound of length, lower bound of breadth, and lower bound of height. Each of these lower bound values to calculate the overall lower bound of the volume. So I'll subtract the error value from each of these. So this will become 7.5 multiplied by 3.5, and 6 minus 0.5 will be 5.5. So this will be your lower bound volume. 7.5 multiplied by 3.5 multiplied by 5.5. So 144.375. So this is the value for the lower bound of the volume. Question number 5, part A. Geeta has n stems. Ravi has twice as many stems as Geeta. So Geeta has n. Ravi has twice as many as Geeta. So 2n. Sanjay has 7 fewer stems than Ravi. So Sanjay has 7 less than Ravi. So Ravi has 2n. So 7 less than 2n. That means 2n minus 7. Altogether, the three children have 108 stems. Form an equation in n and solve it to find the number of stems Sanjay has. So since altogether they have 108 stems, that means if I add all of these stems together, I should get 108. So n plus 2n plus 2n minus 7 equals 108. So this will be 4, 5n. I'll take this to the other side. So this will become 115. N will equal 5 2s are 10, 115, 3. N is 23. Now you have to find the number of stems Sanjay has. So Sanjay has 2n minus 7. So 2 into n is 23 minus 7. So 23 into 2 minus 7. So the answer is 39. Part B is simplify this. So I'll convert this into multiplication sign and take the reciprocal. So this will be over 5 multiplied by now v square over 3t square. T square and t square cancel out. 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6. So these v will be multiplied, so their powers will be added. So 2v by power 5 over 5. Part C is simplify this expression. So I can factorize in the numerator as well as in the denominator. So in the numerator, I can write this as x square minus 16 is 4 square. In the denominator, I can factorize as well. So minus 8 multiplied by 3. Minus 8 multiplied by 3 is minus 24. So I'm looking for factors of 24 that if I subtract them, because this is minus, so I need two factors that I need to subtract to get plus 10, the middle value. And if I multiply them, I should get minus 24 because those are the two, because uh, I'm looking for factors. So since these are factors of 24, they'll obviously, the product should be equal to 24. So 12 and minus 2 are the two factors that I'm looking for here, because if I multiply them, I get minus 24. If I subtract them, that means 12 minus 2, I get 10 here. So I can use these 3x square plus 12x minus 2x, which is plus 10x, and then minus 8. And then in the numerator, I can use the formula a square minus b square is a plus b into a minus b. So this will be x plus 4 into x minus 4. And then I can take 3x common from the first two values. I'll be left with x plus 4. And then I can take minus 2 common here. I'll be left with x, and this minus will convert into plus since I took minus outside. So this will be plus 4 as well. So this will be x plus 4 into x minus 4 divided by x plus 4 I can take common, and then 3x minus 2. X plus 4 cancel out. X minus 4 over 3x minus 2. So this will be your answer. Question number 6. You're given f of x and g of x. Part A is find f of minus 5. So f of minus 5, I'll simply substitute minus 5 in place of x. So 4 into 2 minus, and then x is substituted by minus 5. So this will be minus 5. Let's use square brackets for these. So 4, so minus and minus becomes positive. So 2 plus 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 times 4, 28. Solve the inequality f of x is greater than 3. So f of x is 4 into 2 minus x is greater than 3. If I open the bracket, 8 minus 4x is greater than 3. I take this 8 to the other side. 3 minus 8 is minus 5. And then I'll multiply with minus 1 on both sides because I want positive x on this side. So since I'm multiplying with minus on both sides of this inequality sign will flip. So 4x will be less than 5 now. And then x will be less than 5 over 4. So your answer here is x is less than 5 over 4. Part C is find f inverse of x. So you let y equals to f of x. This gives you, if I take this f to the other side, I get f inverse of y equals to x. We'll use this later. So y equals to f of x. So that means y equals to f of x is 4 into 2 minus x. And now I'll make x the subject of this equation. So y equals to 8 minus 4x. If I take this 4x here and take this y to the other side. And this gives me x equals to 8 minus y over 4. And x is f inverse of y. So here I can write f inverse of y. So let me continue here. F inverse of y in place of this x equals to 8 minus y over 4. And this gives you f inverse. I can simply write any other variable instead of x, which is instead of y here. So I'm looking for f inverse of x. So f inverse of x will be 8 minus x over 4. So this will be 8 minus x over 4. Part D is f of p equals to g of 2p plus 1. Find the value of p. So f of p, what is f of p? I'll substitute p here. So that will be 4 into 2 minus p. So f of p is 4 into 2 minus p. It is equal to g of 2p plus 1. So g of 2p plus 1, g of x is this. So I'll substitute 2p plus 1 in place of this x. So that will be 7 minus 3 into 2p plus 1 over 5. So now let's solve and find the value of p. This will be 8 minus 4p, 7 minus, if I open the bracket, I will get 6p plus 3 over 5. Let's take the LCM on this side. I'll get 8 minus 4p equals to, LCM will be 5. So this 7 will be multiplied by 5 as well. So I'll get 35. And then this will minus will be used here for 6p as well as for plus 3. So plus 3 will become negative as well. Minus 6p minus 3. So let's take this 5 to the other side and multiply. I get 40 minus 20p equals to 35 minus 3 is 32. So minus 6p plus 32. Let's bring this 32 here. Take this to the other side. 8, 20p minus 6p is 14p. So p will be 8 over 14, which is 4 by 7. Question number 7, part A. The diagram shows a part of an n-sided regular polygon A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and so on. You're given these two angles are 24 degrees. Find the value of n. So it is an n-sided regular polygon. That means each of these angles of these polygons are equal. So if I can find what is the value of this angle, I can use the formula which I know for the sum of all interior angles of any shape is n minus 2 into 180. This gives you the sum of interior angles of any polygon. So if it's a rectangle which has 3 sides, 3 minus 2 is 1, 1 multiplied by 180 is 180. And as you know that sum of all the interior angles of a triangle is 180. So let's first try to calculate this value of interior angle. Now, if I look at this quadrilateral C, D, E, and F, this is a quadrilateral, and let's call this angle X. This is X and this is X because the overall polygon is regular, so that means all of the interior angles are equal. So using this quadrilateral, I can find the value of X because X plus 24 plus 24 equals to 360 degrees, because we know that sum of interior angles of all of a quadrilateral is 360. So 2x will be equals to 360 minus 48, 312, and x will be 312 divided by 2, 156 degree. So this angle here is 156. Now, what is the sum of all the interior angles of this n-sided polygon? N minus 2 into 180, which should also be equal to 156 multiplied by n, right? Because if one angle is 156 and there are n such angles, so the total sum of all angles will be 156 by n, and which is also can be calculated using this formula that you have learned for any polygon. The sum of interior angles is n minus 2 into 180. So now let's solve this equation for n. So if I multiply 180 here, I get 180n minus 360 equal to 156n. Bring this here, 180 minus 156 is 24n, and bring this 360 to the other side. And n will be 360 divided by 24, which is 15. So the value of n is 15, which means there are 15 sides to this polygon. The next part is find angle HFG. So let me erase this. HFG. So this angle would be, if I draw a straight line from H to F. Let me try that again. So this is the angle that you need to calculate. Now, if I look at this triangle HFG, it is an isosceles triangle because these two sides are equal. Because this is a regular polygon, so FG and GH and all these sides, they are equal in length. So since this is an isosceles triangle, if let's call this angle y, HFG is y that we need to calculate. So this angle here will also be y, and we have already calculated that each interior angle of this polygon is 156 degrees. So now we can easily calculate using this triangle the value of y. So y plus 156 equals to 180. 180 minus 156 is 24, and y equals to 12, which is the same as angle HFG. So your angle HFG is 12 degrees. Part B is PQRS is a parallelogram. So that means this side is parallel to this side and this side is parallel to this side. TU and SQ intersect at X, and TU is parallel to QR. So TU is parallel to QR. So that means it is automatically parallel to PS as well, because this is a parallelogram and QR is already parallel to PS. So TU is also parallel. So all these three lines are parallel. And then you're given this ratio. The first part is show that triangle PQS is similar to triangle TQS. Give a reason for each of the statement that you make. So PQS is this larger triangle, and TQX is this smaller inner triangle. And now you have to show that these two triangles are similar. So angle, let's call this SQP, or we can actually say angle, simply angle Q is common. So it will be same value of this angle in both the red and the blue triangle. And then angle PSQ, let's look at this angle. It will be equal to angle TXQ, this one. Why? Because this line is parallel to this line, and this is the line, SQ is a line that is passing through these two parallel lines. So this angle and this angle are, these two are corresponding angles of these two parallel lines. So angle PS, oops, PSQ is equal to angle TXQ because they are corresponding angles. And similarly, if you look at angle SPQ and angle XTQ, these are equal as well. Same reason, PS and TU are parallel lines, and this line PQ is passing through these two parallel lines, and these two form corresponding angles. So angle SPQ will also be equal to angle XTQ because these are also corresponding angles. All right, let's move on to the next part. Find the ratio SX ratio SQ. SX is this length, XQ is this length. So now you're given in the question that TQ over PT, TQ over PT. So TQ over PT is 1:2. So if TQ is one part, PT will be two parts. And UR over SU is also 1:2. UR over SU. So if UR is one part, SU will be two parts as well. But you are asked for the ratio of SX ratio XQ. So first we can So these ratios, since they are similar triangles, these ratio will be 1:2 as well. This ratio and this ratio, because these are similar triangles, but we can actually calculate it as well. So let's see. So if I look at these lengths, the TQ, the corresponding length in the other triangle is TQ. So PQ and TQ, and the other side I am looking at QS is the length of the larger triangle, and QX is the length of the smaller triangle. So let's see. QS, the corresponding side is QX. So the ratio QS over QX will be the same as the ratio PQ over TQ. PQ over TQ. So what is the ratio PQ over TQ? From this we have marked these. So PQ is how much? 3. If this is one part, this is two parts. The full length here is 3 parts. PQ is 3 and TQ is 1. So this will be 3 over 1. So the ratio QS over QX. QS is 3 and QX is 1. So if this full is 3 parts, this is 1 part, so this remaining is obviously 2 parts. So now we can find the ratio SX over SQ. SX is 2 and SQ, the full length is how many? 3 parts. So this will be 2:3. Part 3 is find the ratio of area of triangle TQX and area of parallelogram PQRS. So TQX is this smaller triangle, the red one, and PQRS is the larger parallelogram. Since we don't have any relation between this triangle and the larger parallelogram, we can actually find the ratio of this smaller triangle, area of this, and the area of this larger triangle, because we know that these two are similar. And then the area of parallelogram is simply 2 times the area of this large triangle PQS, because there are 2 such triangles. So let's first find the ratio of the area of these 2 triangles that are similar. So area of smaller triangle, which is TQX, divided by area of larger triangle, which is PQS. And we know that this will be the square of the ratio of their corresponding sides. So let's take any two corresponding sides. Let's take QX and the full length QS. So what is the ratio of QX and QS? This is one part QX and the full length is how many? 3 parts. So this will be the ratio of their lengths, but since we are looking at area, I'll have to take the square. So this is 1 over 9. So now we know that the ratio of area of smaller triangle to the area of the larger triangle is 1 over 9. But now we need to calculate area of triangle TQX ratio area of this parallelogram PQRS. And we know that area of this parallelogram PQRS is simply 2 times the area of this triangle. So if this is 1 over 9 multiplied by 2 to get the area of the parallelogram. So this will be 1 over 18, which is 1:18 here. Question number 8, part A is h is the point -7, 4 and the vector hj is 10, -6. Calculate the magnitude of hj. So magnitude of hj will be 10 square plus -6 square and then whole square root. So this will be 100 plus 36 square root and square root of 136. So square root of 136 is 11.66, and I can write it as 11.7 up till three significant figures. Part 2 is, given that hk equals to 3 times hj, find the coordinates of point k. So hk is given as 3 times hj. So hj is 10 minus 6. So this will be 30 and minus 18. Now you have to find the coordinates of point K. So we can calculate the coordinates of point K using the position vectors. So the vector hk can be represented in terms of position vectors of k and h by ok, the position vector of k, minus the position vector of h. And we know that hk is this 30 minus 18. OK is unknown because we need to find the coordinates of k, so this will be OK. And OH is the position vector of point H. And we're given the coordinates minus 7, 4, so position vector will be minus 7 and 4. So if I take this to the other side, OK will be 30, oops, minus 18, and this will become plus, and minus 7 and 4. So 30 minus 7 will be 23, minus 18 plus 4 will be minus 14. So your position vector OK is 23 minus 14, which means the coordinates are 23 and minus 14 for the point K. Part B is the diagram shows a parallelogram OBCE. This is OE is P, and OE is vector Q, and OA is vector P. AD is parallel to OE, so AD is parallel to OE, so that means this is also Q. And OA ratio AB is 1:3. So OA is this. If this is one part, AB is three parts. So this is 1:3. So that means if this is P, OA is P, that means AB is 3 times P. X is a point on BC such that BX ratio XC is 3:2. So BX is 3 parts and XC will be 2 parts. And the full length, this will be 5 parts. So express as simply as possible in terms of P and or Q, the vector OC. So this vector OC, I can use the head to tail rule. I can write this as OA plus AB plus BC. And since this is a parallelogram, OE is parallel to AD. This is Q, and this full vector BC will be Q as well. So this is Q as well. So I can write this OC as OA plus AB plus BC. This will be P plus 3P and plus Q. So this will be 4P plus Q. The next vector is AX. So AX is this vector. Again, I can use the head to tail rule. AX will be AB plus BX. So now what will be BX? If this full vector, this is Q, so I can write BX there. So this is full 5 parts and BX is 3/5, 3 by 5 of Q. So BX will be, let me write this in red. BX will be 3 by 5Q. And similarly, XC will be this part here. Let me mark this in green. If this is two parts out of the full 5, so that means this is 2/5. XC is 2/5 of the full vector BC. So that means this is 2 by 5 of the full vector Q, which is BC. So let's write down AX. AX will be vector AB plus vector bx. AB is 3p and this vector bx is 3 by 5q. So your final answer here will be 3p plus 3 over 5q. Part 3 is Ex. So let's go back. Ex will be this vector. So again, I can use the head to tail rule. Ex will be this vector EC, which is the same as OB. So this full is 4p. So this full vector here, this will be 4p as well in this direction. And then Cx. I know that Xc is this vector in this direction is 2 by 5q. So xc is 2 by 5q. That means cx will be simply the negative of this, which is minus 2 by 5q. So 4p and then minus 2 by 5q. So ex vector is vector ec plus vector cx, and cx is minus of xc. So ec is again 4p and then cx is minus 2 by 5q. Minus 2 over 5q. So 4p minus 2 over 5q. Question number 9 is you're given this triangle. This angle is given and these two lengths are given. The first part is calculate angle ABC. So this is the angle that you need to calculate. And we know the length opposite is 6.4. We know this angle and we know the length opposite this angle. So we can use the sine rule here. So sine of angle ABC over the length opposite, which is 6.4, equals to sine of 79, which is this angle BAC, divided by the length opposite, which is this 9.5. So this will give us sine of ABC equals to, so sine of 79 divided by 9.5 and then multiplied by 6.4. So this is 0.6613, and angle ABC will be the sine inverse of this. So I'll take sine inverse of this. So this is 41.399, and up till one decimal place I can write this 41.4 degrees. So this is your angle ABC. The next is calculate the area of triangle ABC. So since this is not a right angled triangle, I can use the formula of 1 by 2 into sine of any angle theta and then multiplied by the two lengths. Let's call them L1 into L2 that make up this angle. So we know these two lengths 9.5 and 6.4. So they make up this angle BCA. So my area will be 1 by 2 into sine of BCA multiplied by the two lengths that make up this angle AC and BC. So we know the two lengths. This is the angle that first we need to calculate. We know we calculated this angle, which was 41.4 degrees. So all three angles should sum up to 180 degrees. So angle BCA, so let's calculate it here. Angle BCA will be 180 minus the other two angles, 79, 41.4. 79 minus 41.4. So 180 minus 79 minus 41.4. 59.6. So this will be 1 by 2 into sine of 59.6 degree multiplied by AC 6.4 and BC 9.5. 6.4 into 9.5. So let's calculate this. 1 divided by 2 into sine of 59.6 multiplied by 6.4 multiplied by 9.5. So this is 26.22, or up to three significant figures. This is 6.2 centimeter square. So 26.2. Part B is the same triangle ABC forms a horizontal base of a pyramid ABCD. So ABCD is a pyramid, and this triangle ABC forms the base of this pyramid. You're given these lengths and this angle. The first part is calculate angle BDC. So BDC is this angle here between the line BD and line DC. So if you look at this triangle BDC, I know all three lengths of this triangle. So I can use the cosine rule to find this angle here. So cosine rule, the side opposite this is this, which is BC. So BC square equals the square of other two sides. You add them, BD square plus CD square, and then minus 2 times BD into CD, and then cos of the angle BDC. So let's substitute the values here. BC is 9.5 square, BD is 9.8, plus DC is 8, CD is 8.2, 8.2 square minus 2 into 9.8 into 8.2 into cos of angle BDC. So now we can solve this equation and find this angle. So 9.5 square, I'll take this to the other side. So minus 9.8 square minus 8.2 square. So this is minus 73.03 equals to minus, let's multiply these, 2 into 9.8 into 8.2, 160.72 into cos of BDC. So this will give us minus and minus cancel out. Cos of BDC will be 73.03 divided by 160.72, and angle BTC will be cos inverse of this. So 73.03 divided by 160.72, and then you take the cos inverse of this. So this is 62.97 degrees, or I can write this, if I write it down to three significant figures, since this is 7, this will be rounded up. This will become 63.0 degree. So angle BDC is 63.0 degree. Part 2 is calculate the angle of elevation of D from C. Angle of elevation of D from C will be this angle here. So let's just erase this. So we need to calculate this angle here. And if I look at this triangle DA and then this point C. So this triangle DAC, it is a right angled triangle. This angle is 90 degree given. I know the two sides. This is the base, this is the hypotenuse. So I can use the cosine here because you know that cos of theta equals to base over hypotenuse. So the angle ACD, cos of angle ACD will be equal to, base is 6.4 and hypotenuse is 8.2. So let's use this. Cos of angle ACD is 6.4 divided by 8.2, and this will give you the angle of elevation, which is angle ACD. 6.4 divided by 8.2, and then cos inverse 38.69, and then up till 1 decimal place, you have to write angles up till 1 decimal place, 38.7 degrees. So this is your angle of elevation of D from C. Question number 10 is Amira drives 40 kilometers to work. Part A is Amira takes X minutes to drive the first 30 kilometers of the journey. Show that her average speed in kilometers per hour for the first 30 kilometer of the journey is this. So your average speed is total distance divided by total time taken. So since we are calculating average speed for the first 30 kilometers of the journey, your total distance here is 30 and your time is X minutes. So you first need to calculate them in hours because you need the answer in kilometers per hour. So distance is already in kilometers. So X minutes will equal to, if I convert them into hours, I will divide it by 60. So X over 60 hours. So this is 30 divided by X over 60. Or you can write it as 30 divided by X over 60. That means if I multiply, change this to multiply, I'll take the reciprocal, 60 over X, which is 1800 over X kilometers per hour. So that's what you had to show. Part B is Amira's average speed in kilometer per hour for the final 10 kilometers of the journey is this. Her average speed for the first 30 kilometer of the journey is 8 kilometer per hour slower than her average speed for the final 10 kilometers. Form an equation in X and show that it simplifies to this. So you're comparing the average speed for the final 10 kilometer with her average speed for the first 30 kilometers. So what's her average speed for first 30 kilometers? So average speed for first 30 kilometers. You have already calculated that it is 1800 over X kilometers per hour. And then what's her average speed for last 10 kilometers of the journey? Average speed in kilometers per hour for final 10 kilometers of the journey is this, 600 over X minus 25. And then you're given that her average speed for the first 30 kilometers is 8 kilometers slower. So this is 8 kilometers slower than this value. So this is 8 kilometers less than this. Uh, Journey is 8 kilometer per hour slower than her average speed for the final 10 kilometers. So that means the final 10 kilometer her average speed is 8. This is 8 kilometers per hour higher than her average speed for the first 30 kilometers. So that means if I subtract the two, the difference between the two is 8. So this is the larger value because this is 8 kilometers per hour less. So this larger value minus the smaller value, the difference in speed is 8. So this is your equation. Now let's try to simplify it and try to get this form. So if I take the LCM here, this will be X times X minus 25. And this denominator is multiplied by X here. So this will be multiplied by X. This will become 600X minus 1800. And since this denominator is multiplied by X minus 25, this will be multiplied by X minus 25 equals to 8. So simplifying this, if I open the bracket, minus 1800x, and this minus and minus becomes positive, and 1800 into 25 is 45,000. And if I open the brackets in the denominator, I get x square minus 25x equals to 8. 600x minus 1800x will be minus 1200x plus 45,000. And if I take this to the other side, this denominator will be multiplied here. This will become 8x square minus 25 times 8 minus 200x. Let's take everything to the right side. So the right side will become 8x square minus 200x. And if I take this to the right side, this will become plus 1200x, and this will become minus 45,000. And on the other side, you're left with 0. Minus 200 plus 1200. So 8x squared, this will become minus, in fact, plus 1200 minus 200 is plus 1000x minus 45,000 equals to 0. Now, if I take 8 common, I'll be left with x squared plus 1000 divided by 8 is 125. I took 8 common because in the given equation, the coefficient of x square is 1 here. So I took 8 common, I'm left with x square. 1000, if I take 8 outside, this will be 125x, and 45,000 divided by 8 minus 5625. And if I take this 8 to the other side, 0 divided by 8 is simply 0. So I'm left with x squared plus 125x minus 5625 equals to 0. So this is what you had to show. This is the same equation that was given in the question. Part C is solve the equation, show your working, and give each answer correct to one decimal place. So we can use the quadratic formula to solve this. So your x value will be equal to minus b. B here is 125, so minus 125 plus minus square root of b square, which is 125 square, minus 4. A is 1, C is minus 5625. Whole divided by 2 times A, which is 1. So x will be minus 125 plus square root of, let's see, 125 square minus 4 into 1 into minus 5625. 38125. And then divide by 2. And the other value will be x equals to minus 125 minus square root of 38125 divided by 2. So let's calculate the left value first. Minus 125 plus square root of 38125 divided by 2. So this is 35.128 or 35.1 up till one decimal place. You have to give your answer up till one decimal place. And then this value will be minus 125 minus square root of 38125 and then divided by 2. Minus 160.128 or minus 160.1 up till one decimal place. So your two values of x are 35.1 or minus 160.1. Part D is it takes Amira 25 minutes less to drive the final 10 kilometer than it takes for the first 30 kilometers. Calculate Amira's average speed in kilometer per hour for the whole journey. So now you have to calculate average speed for whole journey. Again, average speed is total distance divided by total time. So the total distance for her journey uh, to work is 40 kilometers. So your distance is 40 divided by time. So now you first need to calculate the total time for the 40 kilometers she travels. So 0 to 40. And for the first 30 kilometers, in the first part, it was given that she takes X minutes to drive the first 30 kilometers. So if you go back down, so first 30 kilometers, uh, let's mark 30 here. This distance is 30 kilometer and she takes X minutes. So now what's the value of X? You calculated X as 35.1 or minus 160.1. So negative value is not applicable because you cannot say that Amira traveled 30 kilometers in minus 160 minutes. So the correct value of X is 35.1. So for the first 30 kilometers, she took 35.1 minutes. And then for the last 10 kilometers between 30 to 40, it takes her 25 minutes less to drive the final 10 kilometer than it takes her for first 30 kilometers. So she takes 35 minutes less, 25 minutes less than this, less than what it took her to drive the first 30. So 25 minutes less than this means 35.1 minus 25.0. 101 10.1. So the last 10 kilometers it took her 10.1 minutes. So total time is 35.1 plus 10.1, which is 45.2 minutes. But since you are calculating the speed in kilometers per hour, I need to convert them into hours. So divided by 60 equals to 0.753. So 0.7533 hours. So total distance is 40 kilometers and total time taken is 0.7533 hours. So 40 divided by 0.7533. So this is 53.099 kilometers per hour. So this is 99. And then I can write it up till three significant figures, 1, 2, 3. Next value is 9, so this value will become 1. So this answer, final answer will be 53.1 kilometers per hour is her average speed for the whole journey of 40 kilometers. So answer here is 53.1 kilometers per hour. So this is the end for the paper 2 variant 2 for October November 2020.